Bitcoin is in a free fall lately. The Supertrend has flipped to sell. And in today's video, I'm going to talk about what's been going on with Bitcoin, what caused the huge move downwards, and if I think that this is a game changer or a thesis changer for Bitcoin. And if you guys are interested in hearing more, make sure you subscribe, make sure you like the videos, make sure you follow me on X and also on Threads. Bitcoin has flipped to a sell. We saw it go from the new all-time high that it made back in earlier in the month from 126K all the way down to about 109K, and now it's kind of balanced out a little bit at about 112. So as a result of this very large red daily candle, it has flipped to a sell on the Supertrend. Now, as a reminder, it flipped to a sell as soon as it went through the buy line here at 116, and it can flip back to a buy if it crosses above the sell line here at 123. So Bitcoin fell today, and I think this has been basically what amounts to a rug pull, because the Dow fell, stocks fell, the NASDAQ was down 3.5% on Friday, and it's largely because Trump decided to reignite the trade war between China and the U.S. He's calling for very aggressive tariffs after the Chinese had limited imports from their rare earth metals, and then now basically this is causing a large panic in the market. Crypto is down, Bitcoin is down, the NASDAQ is down, and as a result, we saw actually the largest liquidation event in history for longs. $16 billion worth of longs were liquidated in about 24 hours, and I've never seen anything close to this. It basically was an apocalypse right now for anybody who was leveraged. If you take a look at the estimated leverage ratio here on CryptoQuant, you could see that we had this massive move down in the amount of leverage in the market. The estimated leverage ratio giving you an idea of how much leverage is in the crypto market. And as a result, longs got absolutely obliterated. $6.7 billion worth of longs were destroyed in a single day, and that largely caused Bitcoin's move down, as well as the larger crypto space. If you take a look at Bitcoin alone by itself, $4.6 billion worth of longs liquidated. Again, nowhere close in any point in history that I've ever seen Bitcoin get liquidated this hard. Now, if you take a look at the current setup for the monthly returns for Bitcoin, I've been talking about the fact that normally October is a fantastic month for Bitcoin, and it was up until last Friday. Now it is red for the month of October, which is highly unusual when you have a green September. Normally you have a green October as well. I still think that the thesis here for the October is still intact. Nothing about the trade war or anything like that actually impacts Bitcoin or crypto as a whole. It just seems like sentiment basically just did a complete 180, and everyone just decided to sell everything and move to either cash or, ironically enough, gold. So Bitcoin right now negative for the month of October. I don't expect that to last, and I actually think that this right here could potentially be a good buying opportunity. I actually went and bought some more IBIT in one of my brokerage accounts during this Friday afternoon when I saw the prices dip, and I think that we're going to wind up getting a rebound in the future. We're going to change this here to a resistance line. Now, support for Bitcoin, on the other hand, is at about 107. Okay, 107, that's where you would tend to see some support. And then even below that, if it keeps falling down to about 100, I would really be surprised if it actually went down to 100, because, quite frankly, a lot of the leverage has been taken out of the market already. Normally, when you see such large liquidation events like this, they tend to be followed with a muted response. The market tends to at least move sideways for a little while, or it actually recovers, and I'm actually thinking that we're going to wind up getting a nice recovery. Now, we also had whales selling as well. You had the whale wallet, Mr. 100 here, and you can see Mr. 100 has been buying and selling. This is the number 10 largest private Bitcoin wallet. They actually sold 600 Bitcoin yesterday. Very interesting. Actually, that is today. They sold 600 Bitcoin, and they had been selling Bitcoin prior to this large dump off here. And that's not all. If you go ahead and take a look at this post by Unusual Whales, they actually say that 30 minutes before Trump's announcement of 100% tariffs on China, a whale basically added a huge multi-million-dollar leveraged Bitcoin short position. The market dumped and then made $192 million in 2 hours. You can kind of see that there is some serious insider trading going on right now, and this is part of the reason why we saw the market move down yesterday, because I think that we had a very large rug pull followed by the announcement, and that caused an even larger cascading effect to drive the Bitcoin price down even further. Now, that being said, taking a look at the liquidation levels for Bitcoin, it's very interesting to note the fact that there, on the other side, there's continually a very large short position, okay, and especially as you move past, say, about 127K, so near the all-time high there, about almost $18 billion worth of shorts that be liquidated if it went back to all-time highs. This is fuel for the fire right here. And again, I don't think that this current thing that we're seeing right now, this current panic, is going to last. I think that this is just going to be another bump in the road, and we're going to be heading to new all-time highs within the next month or two, and this would be fueled largely in part by this short liquidation leverage right here. You can see, again, going all the way up to about $20 billion worth of short liquidity. Now, finally, I want to go ahead and talk about the Bitcoin options. So Bitcoin options expiry set for the 17th of October. You can see here max paying price is 118K. Very interesting considering the fact that we're at 111. This is another reason why I believe that Bitcoin probably will recover in the near term, because again, the Bitcoin price tends to gravitate towards that max paying price as market makers try to set the prices here, and they try to get basically to cause the most amount of pain between the options holders. So the open interest right now is actually fairly high. We're sitting here at about $4 billion worth of open interest set up for that, and the max paying price at 118K. So this is another reason why I think that Bitcoin can actually go much higher, especially by Friday. Don't be surprised if we actually get a sharp rebound on the Bitcoin price, especially after, let's say, talks get resumed or they iron out their differences, Trump and Xi Jinping, and you wind up finding out that this right here turned out to be another great buying opportunity. Honestly, it reminds me a lot of what happened back in April. You can go ahead and go all the way back here to in June here, but also back in April when we had a massive dump based off of the tariff news. This is something that feels like it's very, very similar to that. But that being said, what do you guys think? Do you think that we're actually headed for more pain in the Bitcoin market, or do you think that we could potentially rebound and go back to new all-time highs? Leave a comment below, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.